Assignment 14.2, Designing Exercise Programs. Client 1, 6-week exercise program by James Boxwood. The assignment. In this assignment, I'll be designing a 6-week exercise program for 2 contrasting clients. After each week, progressive overload will occur, which allows for exercise to become harder. In this video, I will be describing my 6-week exercise program for my client 1. Client consultation. Before I have done anything, my client and I have undergone a PARQ and a lifestyle questionnaire. A PARQ is a physical activity readiness questionnaire, and this tells the instructor how physically able the client is. And the client has to make sure everything is correct, which speeds up the training process. So, for example, before a training session could occur, a client has to inform the instructor that all of the information is current and up to date. If this is incorrect, then they could become liable. Informed consent. Informed consent is crucial because it tells the client what will be being done. For example, they could say, I will be testing your blood pressure. I will need to put the blood pressure monitor around your arm. It does get tighter. They need to inform them of what's happening. And it shows that the performer accepts what is being done. For example, gymnastics is quite a hands-on sport. And if someone wants to improve their flexibility, if they're a gymnast, PNF stretching is a way that they could do this. However, the instructor may need to help them. And also it uncovers the instructor if something goes wrong. Client profile. My first client was a 17-year-old female. My client smokes regularly and also drinks more than she should, but other than that has a clean bill of health. She is a lifeguard at a swimming pool and assists in teaching swimming. She sleeps roughly 6 hours a night and has a family at home. My client only eats 2 meals a day and these are lunch and dinner. She doesn't snack much either, but she does eat her 5 a day almost every day, and this consists of fruit and also fruit juice drinks. She also exercises regularly. She mostly swims, but also runs and plays netball twice a week. My client enjoys playing recreational netball every week. This means that she enjoys activities that involve jumping over fast movements. My client's targets. The 3 targets that I set for my client were for her to improve her speed across the court by 2 seconds. This is from the one netball post to the next. Increase her vertical jump height by 5 centimeters. This would enable her to be able to jump higher than her opponents and reach the ball and hopefully help her team win. And reduce her weight from 54.1 kilograms to 52 kilograms in 6 weeks. Here is my week 1 program for my client 1. So on Monday, as she has netball, I would advise her to do PNF stretches before the netball and after the netball as she plays on a Monday evening. PNF stretches increase pliability, which hopefully increases the amount of power that the client has within their muscles. This would enable her to be able to jump higher, which means she'd be able to increase her vertical jump. On Tuesday, she works. So, as she works as a swim instructor, she mostly will be swimming. So I would also advise her to do PNF stretches at home. PNF stretches at home will also help her recover from the netball the day before and from the swimming she'd have done at work. On Wednesday, her warm-up would be consisted of PNF stretches. This is because PNF stretches allow you to use the most muscle power that you have. And followed by a 25-minute cycle and then 10 rep shuttle runs. This is of 10 meters and there'd be no resting between each run, followed by static stretches to finish. As the PNF stretches enable her to use more muscle power, she will be able to cycle at a higher intensity and not feel as much pain in her legs, and then be able to do the shuttle runs afterwards. The static stretches are a better way of finishing than dynamic stretches. This is because it enhances the skeletal muscle pump and vascular shunting occurs, which sends deoxygenated blood to the heart and can reduce the effects of lactic acid, which you would be feeling after the shuttle runs. This is because shuttle runs can be done anaerobically. On Thursday, she would work, so I've prescribed her a rest day with a couple of dynamic stretches in the legs at home. She would continue to increase pliability and also be able to move more freely, and rest prevents injury, because if she overtrains too early, then she would have ruined her training program. On Friday, she also works, so I'd also say PNF stretches again to improve her flexibility. which is because PNF are a better way of doing this. On Saturday, I would give her a PNF warm-up and then have a 25-minute jog at 60% of her maximum heart rate and static stretches to finish. The PNF warm-up is again to increase the pliability, but also to increase the amount of muscle power she can have whilst jogging. This enables her to run faster. However, she would only need to be running at 60% of her max heart rate anyway. I've chosen this because it is an aerobic event, and when she is playing netball, she's mostly working aerobically. On Sunday, she'd be resting as she has netball, but would also be doing some PNF stretches at home. Week 2. On Monday, she'd have a netball game. So before that, at home, I'd say dynamic stretching, and then maybe the odd static stretch after the game. On Tuesday, she'd have work, and it'd also be a rest day. So I would give her the option of either doing PNF stretches in the legs or dynamic stretches in the legs. This is because it would give her an opinion on how she feels. If she feels like she can't do PNF stretches because she's feeling really, really tight in her legs, then I would advise her to do the dynamic stretches. On Wednesday, she would again have a PNF warm-up followed by a HIIT session of 20 minutes. This HIIT session would involve sit-ups, high knees, kettlebell swings, and push-ups. This lasts for 20 minutes. However, the sit-ups, push-ups, and high knees would go on 5 reps for 3 sets. However, there'd be rest in between each one. The HIIT session would improve the muscle in her legs. This should hopefully enable her to jump higher, which was one of her goals she wanted to achieve. And it's important to keep recognising that the client's goals, because that is what the main outcome of this is. On Thursday, she'd have a light 30-minute cycle along with a 25-minute yoga session. The yoga session improves balance, which means that she'd be able to land well and catch the ball. And the cycle improves the power in the legs, which means she should be able to jump higher and catch the ball and hopefully outwit her opponents. PNF stretching and then 2-mile run on Friday, and this should be done in under 18 minutes. If I set a goal for my client to do the 2-mile run in under 18 minutes, it gives her an idea of what she needs to be doing and how hard she needs to be working. I would advise her, if she asked for it, I would advise her to work at maybe 60% of her maximum heart rate. I've given her 18 minutes and it's quite a generous amount of time. This is because I don't want her to hurt herself. To finish, I'd probably ask her to do static stretches as well. On Saturday, she'd be working, so I've prescribed her rest. And on Sunday, she'd be working, and I'd give her a 10-length swim to do in as much time as she needs. This is to also improve her aerobic endurance. However, swimming is also a form of physiotherapy, so it can help her body to relax. Week 3. On Monday, she would have a HIIT training session for 25 minutes, followed by static stretching. Within the HIIT session, again, she would have high knees, kettlebell swings, sit-ups, and push-ups. There's a lot of upper body here as well, because when you are jumping, you don't just use your legs. The power also can come from the upper body. The HIIT training session would increase things like cardiac hypertrophy. This means that more blood would leave the heart in each beat. Therefore, my client could move across the court quicker, as her heart wouldn't have to be working as fast and she wouldn't have to be breathing as much. On Thursday, she'd rest and yoga. I would advise she did yoga activities that work on balance, like the freestand, and it enables her to have more stability. On Wednesday, she would have dynamic stretching for a warm-up, followed by a 3-mile run in under 25 minutes. The 3-mile run is to make sure her aerobic system is improving. This is because netball lasts a long time, and she needs to be able to play each quarter, as substitutions can only be made after each quarter. And if she cannot last each quarter, then she'd have to come off, unfortunately. On Thursday, she would have leg weights at the gym. I'd usually say leg press machine. This is because it is the best for building leg muscle. She would do 10 reps of her max weight, and then that would be it for the day. On Friday, a similar HIIT training session to Monday, kettlebell swings, sit-ups, push-ups, and high knees. However, this is only for 15 minutes and then followed by yoga. On Saturday, she'd be resting, followed by PNF stretches. The rest is crucial as it stops her body from injuring itself after she has done a HIIT training session, and the PNF continues to improve the pliability that she has. On Sunday, she'd be working. However, before work, I would give her a 25-minute cycle to do at any intensity that she likes, depends on how she is feeling. However, I would suggest that it be done at a 65% of the maximum heart rate. Week 4. On Monday, she would have a netball game. There'll be light dynamic stretching before. On Tuesday, she would have rest, followed by dynamic stretching. The rest is needed because she's just played netball, so her body would be feeling the pain of this. On Wednesday, a 25-minute HIIT session. However, this would be high knees, sit-ups, mountain climbers, and squats, and then static stretches. The mountain climbers and the high knees are looking to improve the muscle power in her quadriceps and hamstrings, and these are the muscles that are mainly used for jumping. On Thursday, she'd have work, and she'd do a 25-minute swim in half an hour before and or after work, depending on the time frame that she's got. This is again to improve her aerobic system. On Friday, 15-meter shuttle runs. Repeat this 10 times and aim to run each shuttle in under 3 seconds. The 15-meter is approximately the length of half a court of netball, a netball court. So she should be able to do this in under 3 seconds. On Saturday, she would have work. However, I would suggest that she swam before and after work to keep improving the aerobic system, which should increase cardiac hypertrophy, and then do PNF stretches at home. On Sunday, she'd have netball training, and then dynamic stretches and static stretches after, and then maybe do a gentle walk outdoors depending on how she feels. Week 5. Netball game, however, on Monday. However, I'd say she did a 35-minute jog before she even turns up. This is because we're into week 5 now and she needs to be able to keep improving her systems. On Tuesday, rest, followed by dynamic stretching. On Wednesday, I would have an SAQ session. So to warm up, I'd give her a pulse-raising activity of walking around her a quarter in a netball and going forward and backwards. And then for the main session, we'd have ladders. We'd have 5 of 10 reps, 1 foot in each strut, T-bar run, 5 of 10 reps, 5 sets of 10 reps, 15-second rest in between each rep, and hurdles, 5 sets, 10 reps, forward and backwards. And on Thursday, she'd have rest. On Friday, we'd have a sandbag session for weight loss. So we'd do squat deadlift. So do 5 reps of a 7.5 kilo bag, lunge followed by wood chop of 5 reps of a 5 kilo bag, and squats of 10 reps with a 10 kilo bag. Sandbags are good for losing weight and building muscle. By doing squats, she builds leg muscle, and the lunge and wood chop helps improve core strength, which should improve stability. The squat would also help her improve her jump height as she is building muscle in her legs. On Saturday, she'd have work, followed by a light swim for weight loss. Swimming is also a good way of losing weight, as there is not much strain in your body, so you can focus on building muscle as well. On Sunday, she'd have netball training. Week 6. On Monday, she'd have a netball game, and and she wouldn't be doing much other than that, so she'd rest as her games are high intensity. Tuesday is a rest day. Wednesday, she'd have plyometric training. So she'd do 3 sets of 10 jumps over a 40-centimeter hurdle with resting between each set, and 3 sets of 7 box jumps of an 18-inch box and resting between each set. The plyometric training will help her improve jumping. This is because it focuses on building muscle in the legs. Plyometric training consists of mainly jumping, however. On Thursday, she'd have work, and she'd do a 25-length swim in 25 minutes before work, and a 25-length swim would help her improve her aerobic endurance, which would then help her speed. On Friday, she would have a sandbag session. This sandbag session is different from the sandbag session she had the week prior. This is because she'd be doing more reps of a heavier bag. She'd do squat deadlift, 10 reps of a 10 kilo bag, and wood lunge, 5 reps of a 7.5 kilo bag. The squat would build muscle. The squat would build muscle and help her lose weight, which is one of her goals. And if she's built muscle, she's able to jump higher. On Saturday, She would have SAQ training.